Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss how to create an word counter in JavaScript. So we're going to see how to create a word counter in JavaScript using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. By saying a word counter, we're going to create a application that is something like this. Okay, so if on Google, if I'll search word counter and click on this one. So herein, if you'll see um, whatever word I type, so for example, hello, how are you? Okay, so if you'll see here, this sentence consists of 4 words and some 18 characters. So if we'll count every alphabet, it will come out to be 18. And if you'll see, this is displaying it over here, right? So there are like 4 words and 18 characters. Similarly, if I'll add something like, hello, how are you? And let's say my name is whatever, okay? So if we'll see, whatever I am typing it here, it is displaying the number of words and characters while I'm typing, okay? So for example, again, if you'll see, let me clear this, and if you'll see, good evening. Okay, so as I'm typing, it is changing the words and the characters, right? The number of words and number of characters. So we're going to create an application, something like this. Okay, now herein, if you'll see this box that you see over here, wherein I'm typing something, is called as a text area. Okay, so we're going to see how to create that. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna come to my VS Code here, okay, and herein I'm gonna create this, I'm gonna name it as word counter dot html, okay, and it has opened an HTML screen. So let's create an HTML document here, okay. So with the HTML document, we're gonna just create the words, okay, just create the elements of the screen. So here in the title, I'm going to name it as word counter, okay, and in the body here, so first I need an h1 tag to display that this is a word counter, right? Word and character counter. Okay, and then I need a text area, right? And I'll give an ID to this. I'll just say text box. Okay. And I'm gonna say columns equals to, let's say 30, and row equals to, and I'm gonna just say 10 or 20, okay, whatever you want, and end of text area. Okay. Now, to display number of words and number of characters, I'll use a p tag, and in that I'm going to use a span tag. Okay, so generally when you have to type in something to display, just to display something, we use a span tag. Okay, so I'm gonna give an ID to it, and for now I'll just say 0. Okay, and what will it say? 0 words for now. Okay, later we're gonna convert it into the characters or words, number of words and characters. So now, for example, it is 0 words and 0 characters. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna run it and see, it looks like this. Okay, and this thing is very small, right? It's, if you enlarge it, it will look something like this, right? So these things we can change using a style sheet. Okay, so let's add style to it. Okay, and because this is just a small project, I'm gonna just put the style in here in my HTML document. Okay, so let's first do the styling, okay, of the body, right, left, top, bottom. So 50 pixel and 100 pixel. Okay, let's see what has it done. It has moved to from top bottom, I think it is 100 pixel, from left it is 50. Okay, so now after this, let's change the H1. Okay, that is word and character counter. So I want to put it in the center first. So I'm gonna say text align equals to center, right? Then background color, and I'm gonna change it. I have already searched it, so I'll just put it over here, 0067B0. Okay, color, keep it as white, okay. Padding, 10 pixel, and margin. Margin, we generally put it to keep some space in between the components, okay? And margin is 0 pixel. Okay, now give the styling to our text box. And I'm gonna, at this text area, and I'm gonna target it through the ID. So my ID is text box, right? Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna say width is 99.6%, or let's say first 100%, and border color, and I'm gonna give it as blue, okay, and font size, 25 pixel, right? Okay, and my paragraph tag. Okay, let's first see what is happening here. Okay, first of all, this word counter that you see is going out of this boundary, right? I mean, out of this blue. So I am going to do this 100 to 99. Save. Okay, little bit less. Let's say 5. Okay, it looks better. Right, so, but herein, if you'll see, this font is too small, okay? And okay, this is good because I changed the font size. So I have to change this font size, and I'll also give the blue color to that, okay? So now I will target my paragraph tag, and I'm gonna say, okay, I want to put the 0 words and 0 characters in the center as well. So I'm gonna say text align, background color, and I'm gonna keep the same color, okay, and font size, and font size is 25 pixel, font weight, bold, and color white. That is the font color, okay. Padding, 10 pixel, and it is giving me an error because I did not put a semicolon here. And then margin, I'm gonna put it as 0 pixel because I want uh, this to be attached to the word, I mean the text area. Okay, let's see. And this is how it look like. So this is my word and character counter. This is how it will display the words and the characters, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. So let's see. My basic structure is ready, right? This basic structure is ready. I'm typing something and it is showing it here, right? Now what I want to do is I want to now do the JavaScript. Okay, so as I type in here, the 0 words should change to the number of words and 0 character should change to the number of characters, right? That is what we are doing. We are going to do, okay? So let's see how to do that. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a script here. Okay, and let's see, what do we write in the script? So first of all, whatever the user is typing it into the text box, I mean the text area, you have to retrieve that, right? Whatever the user is typing, you're gonna retrieve that and calculate the number of words and characters in it. So first, I'm gonna create a variable to target the text area. So I'm gonna say document dot get element by ID. And my text area's ID is text box. Okay, right. Okay. Now, so whatever you type it in the text box, whenever you are doing some change in the text area, we have to add an event to that change. Okay. So the way we are going to do it is we're going to say text box dot add event listener, and the event, such kind of event is characterized by input. Okay, and then we'll write a function. So this means this input we generally use when we want to, when we type in either the text field or the text area and we want to do something when the user is typing in it. Okay, so that's why or the user is inputting in it. So that's why I just put it as input over here, okay, for the event name. And now let's create a variable to retrieve that value. So if you're typing it in the same text area, the way we retrieve it is this dot value, where this refers to the text area. So you're typing it in the text area, that is what this refers to. Okay, now let's see the character. So text is nothing but a string, right? And if you want to see how many characters in a string or what is the length of the string, the length of the string itself will tell you how many characters are there in the string, right? So how do we do that? We say this is the variable wherein I am getting that value which the user is typing, and herein we'll say text dot length. Okay, it's similar to array. Okay, so text dot length. Okay, and that will give me the length of the characters that is being printed over there. Okay, now you're gonna change. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one, okay, this ID, and instead of 0, I'm gonna write char. Okay, that means that many characters. So the way we do it is we already know how do we target that. We target that by saying document dot get element by ID, and this time the ID that we are targeting is character. Okay, dot inner HTML equals to this. Okay, because that will determine the length of the character. Right, let's see. So I'm gonna save it, just run this, and if I'll type in something, see it is changing the number of characters here. Okay, so I'm typing something, it is changing the number of characters, right? Okay, so we just saw how to see the number of characters, right? Let's let's do it for the number of words. Okay. And okay. One more thing that you will notice here, okay? So when you say words, okay, there are two, three possibilities. First of all, if I'll say, if first I create a word, hello, how are you? Okay. Now if you'll see here, there are four words in it, right? But how are you able to recognize that there are four words over here? Okay. Because whenever there is a space, okay, anything written after a space will be considered as a word here. Okay. And that is how we are characterizing that there are, or we are able to say that there are four words over here. Okay. So whenever there is a space, we can say that whenever there is a space, leave that space and we can count the word after that, right? Number of words. Now here and there are some more possibilities. First of all, a person can write it like this, okay? A person can write it like this. Now if you'll see it, this characters is printing those spaces as well, okay? Because that's how it works. So you have to take care of two things. First, the leading spaces and the trailing spaces, okay? Second, the spaces that is in between the words. There should be only one space, right, to give you a correct answer. So let's see how do we do it, okay? Now see, in JavaScript, we have seen this earlier as well, but just to remind you, when a person write a word, okay, you can convert it into an array. So for example, if I'll say hello, how are you? Okay. And if I convert it into an array like this, mm, okay, that means herein the first word of the array will be hello, then you have how, then you have are, and then you have you. Okay, so this complete sentence is converted into an array, and then it is very easy to find out the length of elements in an array, right? So if I'll just say dot length, like what we did it here, it will give you the length of an array. And that is what we are going to do here. Okay, so the way you can do it is you can use a split function. Split. What does it do? It will convert it into an array. Okay. And again, to remove the spaces that are before and after, you can use trim function. Okay. To remove the spaces before and after. So what I will do is I'll trim, which is trim will be used to remove extra leading and trailing spaces. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this text that I retrieved from the text box, I'm going to say it as text is equals to text dot trim. Okay. And it will remove those spaces. Okay. Similarly, herein to convert it into an array. Okay. To I'm just going to write it as I'm going to create one more variable, okay, and I'm going to say this text dot split. Okay. And what do you want to split on? I want to split on the spaces. Okay. So I want to split the word on spaces, right? So if you want to check what we are doing, you can simply print it and check. So I'm going to print words, okay, and Let's print the text as well. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna run it, and this is my application. I'm gonna open the console here. Okay. And let's see. So I want to print it, right? So I'm gonna change something. Okay. Or let's see. Hello. Okay, let me refresh this. Okay. And I'll just put some, okay, again refresh. So now what I will do is I'll put some space, and you see as I'm putting spaces in the text, it is printing the spaces because I tried printing the text plus first, right? So hello, how are you? Right? And you see it is all converting into an array, right? It is all converting into an array. Okay, so text will be first, it is putting the spaces as well, and then the trim will remove the spaces from it, right? Split will convert it into an array. Okay, now herein, how will we take care of the space in between? So to take care of the space in between, so for example, let's first print this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just comment this. And herein, I'm gonna say document dot get element by ID and this words. Okay, so this one, I'm targeting this one now. So get element by ID word dot inner HTML equals to uh, this array, that is words dot length, right? This array, words dot length. Let's see. So I'm gonna save it, and herein I'm gonna say space first, okay? And I'm gonna write hello, how are you? And you see it is printing the number of words correctly, 4 words. While printing the character, it is also taking um, the spaces, okay? So herein, just to print it properly, words and these very characters. Okay, now, how would you take care of the spaces in between? So for example, herein I'll say hello, and see, I'll just do space, how, and now it is 2 words, but it is still taking it as 4 word. Why? Because it is counting those spaces in between as well. Okay, the 2 spaces. It should just consider 1 space, but I put 3 spaces in between, so it is counting that as well. So how do we take care of that issue? Let's see. So to take care of that issue, what I would do is, let's create a variable. So I'm gonna say clean text, okay, or text without extra space. It will be too big. Okay, so let's say clean text. Okay, equals to this words, that is this array. Okay, and dot filter is a function with the array wherein you can remove that, and it takes an argument as function each word that is in array. Okay, ELM will point to each word that is in the array, and then I'm gonna say return ELM no spaces. Okay, okay, so what it is going to do is it will take each element of the array, my words array, okay, including spaces, and that is what ELM refer to, and will return the word array without a space. Okay, Now let's see. So herein, what I would do is to print it correctly, take this clean word, okay, and in the span, print it. But instead of words here, you're gonna say clean text. Okay, now let's see. So I'm gonna run this, and herein I'm gonna say hello. 1, 2, 3, are you. So even though I have put 3 spaces in between, it is still printing 4 words, which means it has not counted those spaces. Okay, and the code that we wrote to take care of that will be this one. Okay, which is taking this words array, which will be like spaces. So for example, if the words array is like that, hello, comma, you have 1 space, comma, you have 2 space, okay, and how are you? So what does it do? This one. This function that we just wrote, this filter function will take each element from the array, that is hello, okay? It will return if it is not a space, right? It will return if it's not a space. If it was space, it will not return. So it will return an array without spaces, okay? And that will be stored in clean text. And that is what we are printing it over here. Okay, so I hope creation of word counter is understood to you. Okay, so we have just seen how to create a word counter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in next video.